Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas, and I have the pleasure of welcoming someone with whom we will talk about the top stories of last week, Padma Shri, Dr. Sudhir Parikh, in This Week with Padma Shri, Dr. Parikh. Welcome, Dr.
Thank you.
Um, we will. We have three main stories for this week. One relates to regional part or one state in particular, another national, and the third one is international. So I'll begin with the international first, since we are sitting here, and today it is a very surprising or strange development that relates to the decision of President Trump. And within 72 hours, he has ordered Chinese consulate at Houston should be closed. How do you see this decision and its possible ramifications?
Well, I mean, this is a kind of very, very proactive but strong and probably it's a welcome step by Trump administration, because they found that there is some spying or some kind of anti-diplomatic activities was going on, and therefore they did it. And I think it's rightfully just to make sure that U.S. interest has been protected.
So you're right in saying the charges are there is massive spy operation and influence operation from Chinese side. Initially also you would recollect President Trump referred to COVID-19 as Chinese virus. Do you think they have some additional information which led to this rather harsh or strong decision?
Well, I mean, when any government, and particularly government like USA, with the government like China, both are economic giants. Economically speaking, they are giants. So this kind of harsh steps by government of USA or Trump administration cannot be taken lightly. And I'm sure they have more evidence or more reason or more reason to believe that these steps are justified. So I will not second guess, because we do not know full story. We have no privy to whatever government of U.S. government has information from the intelligence services. So I would only just limit my comment that I'm sure it's a wisdom of the government of the day to do this kind of action, which I'm sure it is justifiable action.
No, there were reports that China is behind spread of COVID-19 virus across the globe. And what we hear is they probably have few more evidence. And again, as you said, we don't know all the details. But let us assume for a second this is so, which of course China is going to deny. But what immediate reaction from China can be anticipated? One would be they will also ask America to close its consulate. Anything else that you can think of?
Well, I mean, it can stop here, or it can escalate beyond this thing. And obviously, when this kind of thing happens, Chinese embassy and USA embassy, diplomatic level, I'm sure they must be talking to each other, and they will be talking to each other.
No, this also would have some impact on the economic relationship and indeed on the potential growth of economy in both countries if it escalates.
I mean, yeah, if it escalates, then there will be some impact on the economy of both the countries. But I'm sure if they try to resolve this situation with the diplomatic dialogues.
Talking about diplomatic dialogues, and China and India are also not on good terms, and America openly supported India's stand. Overall, the Chinese image all over is not good. Uh, in the context of Indo-US relationship, today we have the news, Prime Minister Narendra Modi promising investors from America that now is the best time to invest in India. How do you look at this proactive initiative of Indian Prime Minister for US
Well, I
investment?
mean, I agree with the Honorable Prime Minister that this is a great opportunity, a great timing of the timing to invest in India by any country, including USA, because China is kind of having little stepchild. I mean, world is kind of not very favorable with the China because of the pandemic, and so this is a great opportunity for India to attract the FDI, and I'm sure India will be successful in that because India has all the ingredient what China has to become a manufacturing hub or to become a kind of supply chain for the whole world. You know.
So now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also mentioned that this year, or rather in 2019-20, foreign investment in India was near $74 billion, which was 20% higher than the previous year. What do you think contributed to the increase in foreign direct investment in India? And if I may add, because of the COVID-19 situation, it is likely to be lower than what it was last year. How do you look at it?
No, I think this FDI investment is a long-term thing. It's not short-term thing. So, I mean, on the contrary, COVID pandemic helped the foreign investors to invest in India because right now China is not a very likable or favorable country for world. So India has a kind of advantage, and this is a time where India should take really make sure that investment becomes easy, all the red tapes are gone, and becomes kind of easy to invest for outsider. The tax structure should be good, so a lot of reforms has to be reform has been suggested but should be implemented, and then this investment will be jump and it can double or triple easily.
Now, consider the other idea which was shared by Prime Minister Modi recently, which is self-reliance, Atmanirbharta. How do you see the emphasis on FDI and self-reliance? Can both
Yeah,
of
because
these
what they are
ideas
saying is,
coexist?
yeah, right. What Prime Minister is saying that self-reliance means you have to rely on the products manufactured in India. So that is the same thing. And so if FDI comes, and if they want to manufacture say, as simple as the some medication or drugs, so if Indian pharmaceutical company does that, so not only it's an investment for FDI or foreign investment in India, also because of the is an Indian company, Indian population also will get the benefit out of it. Suppose if the same vaccine or same medicine is manufactured outside India, then India has a couple of more steps to procure that medicine and may end up paying probably more price. That's why self-reliance or self-dependence is always a great idea, and FDI and both things is go together. What Prime Minister is saying that not India invest. I mean, foreign companies should invest. The corporates can invest there, and Indian corporation can implement or operate there, and that's why both side can be win-win.
Talking about win-win, there has been certain promises which BJP made before coming to power. One of them was building of Ram Mandir. And as you are aware, by the order of Supreme Court and the way UP government has worked on it, 5th August is the date when Prime Minister Narendra Modi would be going for the foundation laying ceremony. So the work is finally starting. How do you look at this development?
Well, I think it was overdue, and we are waiting for this Ram Mandir to happen for last almost over 50 years, since early 50s. So I think it's a good start, and should be happen. And that ceremony of Bhumi Pujan, only thing I'm sure the government will make sure that all the rules and regulation of the pandemic will be followed and implemented, and should not be, will not allow any big crowd to gather there. And if they do that, then I think it's a good event, and should start, because we have to start somewhere and sometime, and this is the time to start.
So considering the concern that you just raised, the reports are they will only allow 250 selected people to participate, and I'm sure the precautions of social distancing, etc., to some extent they would be observed. I don't know about 100%, but now there is another controversy, or that is a kind of criticism which is always a part of a secular India. Is some people, some intellectuals in India are suggesting that Prime Minister should refrain from being a part of this occasion because it affects the secular nature of India. How do you see this criticism?
I'm not sure, I don't agree with that, because I think Prime Minister has all the rights and all the discretion of helping all religion, right? And Hinduism is one of the religion. And
A
so
major
if
one, yes.
Prime Minister goes there and help to start something which is really symbolism for Hinduism and Hindu people who are waiting for last 50 years to start, that's fine. There's nothing wrong in it.
No, another issue related to Prime Minister's office comes from the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, who has written a letter to Prime Minister bringing to his attention that over ambition of some of the leaders of BJP has resulted into horse trading. And as you are aware about the instability in Rajasthan's political scenario, this also is quite a very rare occasion when a chief minister would write to prime minister. What is your response or your feeling about this letter written by Chief Minister of Rajasthan Ashok Gehlot to Prime Minister Modi?
Well, I mean, Chief Minister is kind of airing his concern about horse trading, but again, we don't have any real proof of horse trading here. And so this is probably political posturing rather than reality. And so I'm not sure how important it is.
It becomes important in the context that this Friday, High Court in Rajasthan is going to decide about the case against Sachin Pilot, the other Deputy Chief Minister, who is no more Deputy Chief Minister and he is no more Pradesh Congress Adhyaksh also. But moving towards the concluding part of our conversation today, in terms of the way things are in India with COVID-19, looks like it is increasing, and compare that with tri-state area or America. How do you see when will we as a world community are likely to be going beyond this COVID challenge?
Well, I mean, COVID virus is going to stay with us for at least next foreseeable future. But again, one should not, stagnate day-to-day life. As I always say, that be smart and be safe, and go out and do as much as you can do without being feared by COVID virus. And as long as you take the precautions in the public, stay away from the people, fair distance of the 6 feet or more, and don't attend any crowded events. I think one does not need to worry about or concern about COVID, because it's not going to go away. There's no deadline for that. That okay, on so and so date, September 1st or October 1st, is going to go away. So just you have to live with the kind of altered normal life, and that's the way it is. And eventually, everything will kind of becomes normal.
And your concluding remarks from today's show?
Well, I think again, same thing. The COVID is really going to be with us, but we have a lot of hopes for treatment of the COVID as well as the vaccination of the COVID, and we think with the good resources, reliable resources, medical resources, I know that vaccine, at least one or two vaccine, will be in the market by end of this year or before end of this year. And so that's a good hope and good news. So let's hope for that. And again, we'll see you next week. Please join us. God bless America. God bless India. Goodbye. Good night.